Welcome to Maths with Jade. In this video tutorial, we'll be factorising simple quadratic expressions. Simple quadratic expressions are those that start with x squared and can be factorised. Factorising means writing an expression as a product of its factors. But to put it more simply, it means putting into brackets. But please do not take me literally on this. These types of quadratics factorise into two brackets, with something in one and something else in the other. We should be familiar with this already, so let's expand two brackets for a little recap. I have two brackets and I want to multiply everything in the first bracket by everything in the second. So x times x gives me x squared. X times 1 gives me x. 2 times x gives me 2x. And 2 times 1 gives me 2. I can group together my x terms, leaving me with x squared plus 3x plus 2. Factorising is just working backwards, so going from my expanded expression and putting it into brackets. To find out how to do this, let's look at a generic set of double brackets. And instead of numbers, I've replaced them with a and b, because if we are factorising, our goal will be to find these two numbers, a and b. I'm going to expand this quickly for you. So I have x times x, which is x squared. I have x times b. I have a times x, and then a times b. I can group together my x terms, which will mean I'm left with x squared, and I have a plus b lots of x, and then a times b. This means to factorise it should be easy. If I have a simple quadratic expression, I need to find two numbers, a and b, that multiply to make the constant, the number on its own, but add to make the number in front of x. Let's look at a real example. So I have x squared plus 5x plus 6. I want to factorise it into two brackets. To make that x squared term, I need to have x and x. But now I need to find those two numbers a and b. Well, this takes a little thinking exercise. Those two numbers need to times to make 6 and add to make 5. So the problem looks like this. Pause the video, try and find my two numbers. So the solution to this problem is the numbers 2 and 3. So we just want to place that into our brackets. They are both positive, so we put plus 2 and plus 3. It doesn't matter which order those brackets go. Let's take a look at another example. X squared plus 7x plus 6. Well, I need two brackets and x in both brackets to make the x squared term. Now, a and b need to times together to make 6 and plus together to make 7. Pause the video now to have a think about what these two numbers could be. You should have got 6 and 1. So we put plus 6 plus 1 in those brackets and I have factorised this quadratic. Here's a slightly harder example, x squared plus x minus 30. Well, I'm still going to have x in both brackets, but my two numbers need to multiply to make minus 30 and add to make 1. The only way this is possible is if I have a positive number and a negative number, because a positive and a negative times together to make a negative. Pause the video now to find my two numbers, and don't worry if this takes you a little bit longer. So you should have got 6 and minus 5 for that. And the brackets can go in any order. However, you need to make sure that your negative is the 5 and your positive is the 6, because they plus together to make positive 1 and not negative 1. So let's look at another example. Same thing again, two brackets, and we need x in each bracket to make that x squared term. Two numbers need to times together to make 24, but plus together to make minus 10. The only way this is possible is if we have two negative numbers, because they need to times together to make a positive, but still add together to make a negative. Pause the video here. We've got -4 and -6, so they can go into your brackets in any order. I think it's time to give some for you to do. So please factorise the following quadratics and do not juggle with your positive and negative signs hoping to grab the correct one. Take the extra few seconds to make sure you have the right sign in those brackets. And for those of you who like a challenge, here's a bonus question for you. Pause the video here to have a go. So here are the solutions to that exercise. If you have your brackets the other way round, then don't worry. These brackets can be in any order. Please check your answers carefully. Some of you might have had a go at this bonus question. And if you didn't, then the most sensible place to start is to write it out again as x squared plus 0x minus 9, because then we can just apply the same rules that we did before. We know we're going to have the brackets with x in both brackets, but then I need two numbers that plus together to make 0 and times together to make -9. Well, you should have got +3 minus 3. This is actually a whole topic in itself called the difference of two squares. You've made it to the end of Factorising Simple Quadratic Expressions. This has been Maths with Jade. If you found this video useful, please hit the like button, subscribe to my channel for other videos, share, and feel free to comment below.